Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Prince George's County Cable Commission television meeting for today, Wednesday, September 26, 2018. I'm Doris McMillan, and my other commissioners.
Mike Thompson.
Samson Afolabi.
All right, let us proceed with our agenda. We need approval of the minutes for our last meeting, Wednesday, August 22nd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting.
Second.
All right. Do we have any action items?
There are no action items at this time.
And our monthly reports?
Yes. The monthly report for the month of August 2018. For Comcast, we have 17 open calls. We have 17 closed calls, and there are no outstanding calls. For Verizon, we have 25 open calls. We have 24 closed calls. We have one outstanding, and the outstanding call is the issue with Cinnamon Ridge cabling issues, of which Verizon is working with individual homeowners in order to address these issues. The Cable Commission, however, is tracking the progress through Ms. Williams, who informed us that as of today, the work is still in progress.
Okay.
So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, would you care to join us?
Not that many problems.
Okay. Do we have the community television for the Prince George's County report?
The report was submitted and it was accepted.
Okay. Mr. Chairman?
Carry on.
Okay. At this time, we will take any public comment. Concerns, questions?
Am I the only one?
Have-
I'll let the
Okay.
gentleman go first. He was here.
All right, sir.
Go first.
Mr.
I'll
Vice
make a fool out of myself.
Oh, well, by all means, come and join us.
I have a couple that I think are personal affecting my household.
Okay, and your name, sir?
Francis Frank Elson, ELSCN.
Okay.
Or hey you, or what's your name, anything works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your
I-
concern?
Okay, one item that I just want to raise, I figure it's not going to do any good, but I get a little irritated that you have to sign contracts with either Verizon or any of them, Comcast, Xfinity, whatever you call it, and anybody else. But you know, the contracts are kind of a one-way street. You get one tier or second tier or third tier of television service and so on. But you know, they can drop channels or networks anytime they want. There's no adjustment made to the fees. I mean, in most businesses, you couldn't do that.
Who's
And
your
I
carrier?
realize they have issues,
Mhm.
but the issues should be incorporated into, it's not like, you know, in other words, I like Bloomberg station.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason that, you know, they don't consult with me and check with me to see what I think of it.
Right.
But Bloomberg is an active organization. It didn't go bankrupt or something like that. But well, for whatever reason, they decided to discontinue it. Maybe Bloomberg wanted more money than they wanted to pay, maybe whatever. There also was a French news station that I liked. And a few years earlier, there was a German news station that was on. Oh, you know what? They're not there. You know, and there's been other stations like that. So my issue, I'm using a couple specific examples, but I pay for a second tier because I want to be able to pick up some of the, other than the run-of-the-mill ABC, NBC, and CBS. I'm not knocking them, but you know. But the way the contracts work, well, if they don't want to show them, the heck with you.
Yeah.
And you're still locked into a contract, you know. And I think that, you know, I think it'd be nice if you did something about that. I'm not sure what you can do. I'm sure they have 1,000 good reasons, but it doesn't change the fact that the 1,000 good reasons provide them with cover that I would say 90% of the people entering a contract do not have. If you were running an electrical company, a plumbing company, a data services company, you probably in most cases could have just dropped elements and say, oh, well, you know, it was too much trouble, we didn't want to do it. Okay, that was one.
Okay.
Another thing is the pricing. I wish somebody could do something about pricing. Now, I'm not so much criticizing the overall price, but I am. So how's that for speaking with forked tongue? But like, I think I pay about $120 a month for the triple play, the second tier television, and so on like that. And okay, I know what I'm paying there. But there's like 25% or so, $30 almost in add-ons. Now, I'm not sure why I pay $6.39 for sports fee or whatever. I don't know why I do. I really don't care about ESPN and a bunch of others. And I know there's always an argument about a la carte versus packages. But in this case, it's not exactly a la carte versus packages because they're charging an extra fee for certain kinds of package services.
Mr. Elson, have you reached out, who's your carrier?
Files.
Okay, Verizon.
Verizon.
So have you reached out to them to question the package that you have?
No, ma'am, yes, I have from time to time talked to them about it, but not this specific.
Right.
But let me assure you, because I've talked about another subject I'll get into in a minute, talking to them is about the equivalent of talking to that wall.
Okay.
You know, you're told that, well, you know, there's requirements and the legal thing and everything else. Hello, wall, you know. But anyhow, again, what I'm saying is like, I'll just make up numbers, but if there were 10,000 subscribers who wanted this, excuse me, who wanted this sports, whatever you call it, and 10,000 that didn't, so each of those 10,000 would pay 63 or 64,000 a month for that service. Well, why are the ones who don't want it subsidizing the ones who do want it? You know, I mean, if every 10,000 we're paying $6.39, I gotta change my glasses, I can't read it. But it's something like, there's the same thing for something local television franchise or something. I don't know why we pay for, maybe it's absolutely impossible, but you know, I can click a button on my remote and it'll switch to over the air. I can pick up NBC, ABC, local stations and everything over the air. I don't need to, all I gotta do is push a button on the remote control. If this is because, well, you can't get ABC and NBC and Fox and so on locally if we don't pay this fee, well, good, don't pay the fee. There's a button, you click it, it switches to over air, you know. Now your television has to be able to accept it, but you've seen ads everywhere that if it doesn't accept it, it's a $10 antenna to accept it, you know. So again, what I'm saying is, my bill goes up by 25%. And a bunch of these charges, they really don't have to make sense. I realize somebody can make a case for them. I'm not saying you can't make a case for them. But I'm also saying that it's not necessarily a case that has to stand up, you know. So, Anna, the one other element of this I'd say is if they are going, for some reason, if these are absolutely impossible to change, which I'd sure like to have it explained to me why that's the case. But if it is, then they shouldn't be telling me it's $120. If you're gonna add $30 worth of add-ons, then you should tell me it's $150, you know? And I don't know, maybe I've never had DirecTV. Maybe they don't have some of these add-ons. I don't know, or maybe, I don't know, some of the others don't have. Okay, so that's the second thing. One issue was I sign a contract, they can change it whenever they want. The other is the pricing, I think, doesn't make it. Now, shifting to another kind of thought process. I have rental properties in Bowie. I've had them for 100 years. I don't flip and everything else. I've had people come in, kids grew up, grandkids, the whole nine yards. But what I also have is, when it comes to installation, I've had trouble several times with installation, and I'm typically not involved in it. I typically get involved ex post. But what will happen is the tenant will decide, and I have tenants for 25 years. They know me, you can't get rid of them. I shouldn't put it that way, I don't want to get rid of them, but I mean, they stay. But I go to the house and I said, what is this thing, this cable running in front, running underneath the front door? I said, what is this? Well, that's what they told us, that's the standard installation, that the way they do it. And, no, this is dangerous.
Is this also Verizon?
On one case it was, another case I'm not sure. And again, I had a similar situation, and the similar one is, I'm not sure if it was Verizon or Xfinity, but if you're familiar with Levitt Homes in Bowie, they almost all have sliding glass doors under their patio. Here's a cable running, and you know, when the installer puts it in, installs it, he stuffs it back, you know, but it doesn't say stuff back. You know, rain, wind, freezing, this thing's on, and I said, what is this? Well, that's what they, you know, that's the standard. I said, no. See, what's gonna happen when somebody walks out, catches their foot on that, falls down, especially in the second case. Somebody had a new baby. Can you imagine a woman walking out with her baby, catching her foot, falling down, the baby hits her? No, you know. Well, in both of those cases, I was able to get the situation handled by a way that maybe is extraordinary or something. Bowie, as you may or may not know, I don't know, Bowie has a very effective, efficient, whatever, code enforcement office. On rental property, not to get off too much, but every rental property in Bowie will be inspected inside and out every year. Okay? You're an inspector, you go in, schedule an appointment, you go in and look at it. That's okay. I never have any problems with that. But what I did in both cases is I contacted Bowie code enforcement officers. Now, they said, well, they can't do anything about cable. See, they don't have any authority over that, but they could do something about safety. So they know who to contact in Verizon or Xfinity or whatever, and tell them that, you know, we're not talking about monitoring cable. We're talking about a safety situation. And, but you see, that is a situation where the landlord or somebody has to run across it before somebody gets hurt.
So have
That's
you?
stupid.
Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Ellison, you've already addressed the cables, is that correct?
I've got those two situations resolved, but I don't like this being able to do that out there.
You have an ongoing concern about the installation of the cable and how they go about it, whether or not they're paying proper attention to safety concerns.
Right.
Okay.
And I think what I'm proposing is that the county or somebody establish a requirement that says you don't run things like that. In both cases, like, okay, in the case of FIOS, when I discovered the situation, I tried, you asked about talking to FIOS. Hello, Wall. You know, I call, well, you know, I mean, we follow, you know, we have, and the way, it was done, you know, and the tenant had to agree, and everything. Well, legally, I'm not even sure if they're supposed to install it without the landlord's approval or something, but I don't even go there. Because I don't have that kind of arrangement with my tenants. We don't play those kinds of rules. But I'm just, you know, you get nowhere with them. As I say, when I talked to the code enforcement officer at Bowie, I took a picture with the cell phone, I showed it to him, he says, He made a phone call, and, I'm sorry, I skipped over the fact. I tried calling Verizon a few times, I don't, 3 or 4 times, I got nowhere at all. When I talked to the code enforcement officer, he said, no. Next morning, I got a call from Verizon, they wanted to know when I wanted to meet them at the house, and they were going to resolve it. And they did. They ran the lines up near the roof. All the roofs have the venter ridge or whatever they call them these days. And anyhow, carrying it one step further, I've had problems where I'm installing it inside the house. I walked into, I say, I don't have much reason to go to the houses. I have a good relationship with people.
Is it also a safety concern on the inside and outside?
And what I'm getting at, yes, in my long-winded way, is there's a cable running up, over, up top, down a closet door area, along the wall, underneath the door, along the hallway, around. I said, what is this? Now, in a way that may be secure, but these people have little kids running around. I said, no.
So there again, it's a safety issue as well.
Yeah.
So
And so one is a safety issue that I ran into, which with the exterior cables running past the doorways, which
And
to
then
me
also-
is so dumb. That it's
then
not
also
even-
on the inside as well. So
Right.
I've noted 4 specific issues. One has to do with the additional fees that go beyond the subscription, your base fee,
I'm sorry?
your base subscription cost, and then there are fees on top of that
Right.
that you're not aware of. Second one has to do with customer service and the quality of customer service
No.
not being.
Well, that may be in there, but I'd say the first one I mentioned has to do
Yeah, I'm
with
sorry,
them
I'm
changing
sorry.
the contract on the fly,
Right,
and I have to accept it.
Right,
Right.
and then you have customer service, the quality of the customer service, you have some concerns about that. You have some concerns about subsidizing people who are not receiving services.
Well, I'm not saying they're not receiving the service. I'm saying if everybody is paying $6.39 for the sports fee or whatever it is, then people who
everybody
don't
is.
care about picking up all these football games or golf tournaments or whatever are subsidizing those who do.
Gotcha.
If you're gonna have that,
Okay, and the final issue.
then it shouldn't be $120 and $30 extra. That should be ground into the price, so I know what I'm paying up front.
Okay, and then the cable installation from a safety perspective, in particular, both inside and outside of.
Right.
So, you've got all of those as well.
Right, we got all that.
Okay. Have you had a chance to talk with staff about this before, or?
No, I didn't, I don't know anything about anything. The only staff I talked to, as I said, was buoy code enforcement
Okay.
people.
And we've got your name and address and everything, or make sure we have that
Just have his
before you
phone
leave.
number, but I'll call him
Okay.
and get all that information.
Okay,
All right,
I have
Thank
his
you.
phone number.
that's my spiel.
thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. Okay. We have
You know what, I actually wasn't here for a personal item, but I might as well put it out there. What he was saying about the wires going all the way around, they had it set up like that on my unit. And I actually, my internet kept dropping. So finally, I called him out, the guy did it the same way. It was up around the closet, across the floor. They installed it, came back, did it the same way. And then the third time, which was probably a few weeks ago, called him, the guy came out. He said, oh man, I wonder is there a different way? He rewired everything. He used a different jack. He did some stuff, fixed everything, made it look perfect. They charged me for it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we didn't get your name, sir.
My name is Dwayne Staples.
Was that also Verizon?
That was Verizon. And it's funny because I actually I reluctantly paid the bill in protest today. I called them to try and make a complaint. The technician that came out told me that, oh, well, maybe, you guys had carpet before and you just changed your floors, and so you directed the guy to do that. I said, no, why would I don't know anything. I'm not a technician. When you guys installed, I'm thinking this is the way to do it. It was a hazard. It was horrible. I endured it for long, but it was kind of a slap in the face that they charged me to fix something. The guy fixed it. If he had done it like that the first time, then I would have never had any reason to call him. So when I called Verizon just to, let them know, I'm unhappy about it, I'll pay it, but I'm unhappy. They said, oh, well, we don't make those, I got the technician, we can send you to the technician department. Sent me there, asked me to a supervisor, they said, oh yeah, hung up on me. And you wait like 30 minutes to get through. So that's why I say, forget, I'd rather pay it, because my time is more, instead of me spending hours of my life trying to fight it, I say, you know what, I'll pay it. And when my contract is up, I can switch over to Comcast and try
So,
that.
in the meantime, Mr. Staples, would you like to register a complaint about it? Since you're
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Since I'm
Okay.
here, I might as well. It was
Okay.
$274 that I was charged for that.
Okay.
Could I just second what he's saying? Is,
He may, yes, he may.
Let's hear what
Yeah.
he's here for.
okay.
Okay, let him, because
Okay,
that wasn't why
okay.
we're really here.
That wasn't why I was
Okay,
really
so
here.
let's talk about why you're really here.
Okay.
And then we can come back as well. So, okay.
Well, like I said, my name is Dwayne Staples. I'm the homeowner association president of a community called Lake Point. It's actually around the corner from here. It comprises of 16 buildings. It's 216 units. I've been on the board for 7 years now. I've been a president of the last 4. The issue that we have is the Comcast cables that are on the side of the building are exposed, and it has been a hazard, and we have been fighting this thing. When I say for years, I have our attorney has gotten involved. I'll walk around, I see new buildings being built. I go down to Virginia, they don't even have any wires on the buildings at all. And I understand maybe a decision 20 years ago was to put it on the side of the buildings. There's a covering, that box comes off. Whether the wind takes it off, whether the technician comes, and we've caught them taking it off, not putting it back on. But it needs to be secured, it needs to be locked, it needs to be a no tampering warning on there. But what happens is when those exposed wires, 1 is a safety hazard, 2, it's a horrible eyesore, and it brings down a property value. Therefore, we don't get, it's ownership. You buy the units, it's not a rental. Therefore, you get somebody, they look at that and say, oh man, I don't want to live here. Now you're losing out good qualified potential homeowners that can pay the assessments because we're self-funded. We don't receive a single penny from Prince George's County, even though we pay taxes. I handle everything from our snow, trash, electricity, water. We don't use any government services at all. My own security, I install my own security cameras. So I'm like the mayor of the town. But this one incident is unfortunate that I have to then spend my budget to hire an attorney to fight with Comcast. I've tried personally going up there. We've called. I have phone calls. I have written letters from my attorney. We also have photographs. Have all that information. I can forward it to you. I didn't want to, bring it into the meeting, bring it here, but I do have that information. But the problem is, it's just a reckless disrespect to my community. We're in a very prominent location, and you have government people they're nurses, blue collar workers, doctors that live in my community, attorneys, and it's just a shame that this one thing, my board members get, it's a complaint at all of our board meetings, and we're doing everything that we can. So,
What's the name of the?
It's called Lake Point Condominiums. So, any advice, actually the attorney forwarded me, recommended that we notify me about this meeting. I didn't know about it, so he notified me about this meeting, so I came to, notify you while we still fight the battle on our end.
So your attorney directed you here? Is that what you're saying?
My attorney was notified of this meeting, and I took it upon myself and told him that I would be here.
Oh, okay.
He would have came. I'd probably $200 an hour, but
You did the best stuff. Question, going back to your
Yes, sir.
to your first
Mhm.
issue, or just very briefly,
Mhm.
we started back on it. But how many times did you say it took them? 3?
well, they installed it like that,
Right. That was
and
one
then
time.
it's I guess
Were you
where
there
was
the
that?
first time?
It was a trip hazard, all sorts of stuff. So the guy came out. So he installed it the first time. Then he came out again, and this is probably over a year span. He installed it. We lived with it for a year. And he came out, and then, like I said, maybe 30 days ago, if that, I had him come back out, and the guy looked at it and was like, "Oh man, this is all, da 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 da." And then I said, "How is it that you come out here and you see this and you fix it the right way?" His exact words to me was, they hired a lot of people, and I've been with the company since they were Bell, Atlantic, or whatever it is, and he has certain knowledge, and he was more skilled, so he rewired the home the right way. And he was like, "Oh, you didn't think I was going to charge you for this?" He said, "They told you on the phone." I said, "Yeah, but I told him that I wasn't going to pay it because it wasn't working." And like, again, I'm the type of person, I'd be like, you know what, no problem. Pay it, and when my contract is up, then I'll just go to Comcast and play that game for a little bit.
Was there anyone in the home when it was initially installed?
Yeah, I was there, but I'm not a technician. We have, when they install it, they go to the phone jack, and we only have, there's really like 2 phone jacks. There's one by the kitchen, and there's one in the master bedroom. So he installed it in the one by the kitchen, which also connected to another wire in the guest bedroom. It was a mess. He tacked it, all that stuff, but eventually it was loose. It was a hazard. It was a problem.
Well, Mr. Staples, what I would do is direct you to speak with Ms. Okola. Bring your pictures and everything else that you have, and our team will look into that for you. But you should file a formal complaint.
Now, when you say, which one are we talking about, the first case or the second?
Did you have pictures of the first?
No, I never took pictures. I'm just, it was never my intention.
Okay.
You know, I just.
But you still can lodge
I never took pictures because
Right, but you can still lodge make a report.
Right, yeah, just providing
Yeah.
information.
Right.
Help us.
Okay.
And do that, and then for the second part, for why you really
I
came,
have all of that stuff.
you should bring all of that and bring it in.
I have that information.
Uh-huh, that's what I would
I can
encourage
just
you
forward
to
an
do.
email, it's all in an email.
Oh, okay, then definitely do that. Okay, Mr. Ellison?
Yeah, I just wanted to second what he's saying on the first part, something. The problem is that, I think all of these companies, whether it's Comcast and Xfinity, whatever that is, they come up with a price, and when it's an initial install, they say installation's free. But embedded in that is the cheapest. They don't give a darn about safety or anything. They do it the cheapest, call it least expensive, whatever you want. And I would like to see this cable commission, if it's within your domain or something, say, it will be installed in a safe and acceptable manner. And your installation free, trust me, the 2 hours or whatever that the technician spent in your house doing it right, they're not gonna find that. It's just, even if they did it for 100,000 households in the area, that's such a small amount of money when they're getting a 1-year or 2-year contract or something. So the point is, you say, well, bring it up and make a complaint and formal, and everything, but that's not the way to do it. That may be the only choice he does, I have right now, but the way to handle it is for you folk to say, we are not gonna tolerate this. And the rules in the future are going to, I don't know if you can do that, but if you can, I mean, it's to say the rules in the future are, they will be installed in a safe and, reasonable manner. And if not, you will go back. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see you do what I said, what the code enforcement fellow in Bowie did on one occasion, and just, whatever he did, he called somebody and but I don't want to find out about it by accident, after somebody falls and
Right.
gets
It
badly.
was really just a slap in the face. I mean, the person came out, they installed it, then the last guy comes out, fixes the first guy's work, and then I pay for it. I understand it's a business and everything, but
Yeah,
I'm not a
that should
technician.
not be.
Right.
And
Well, I can assure you, we may be commissioners, but we're customers too. So we want the same excellent service that you're asking for. And that's why we're here to advocate for our community. And when you have a concern, you're doing what you should be doing, which is bringing it here. And then we give it to the staff, and then they work to make sure that it works out as best we can. And normally we have representatives here.
Yeah.
But
They must have known you were coming tonight, but we do normally have a representative from Comcast and Verizon here at the meetings, all of our meetings, so. But if you get the information to the staff, then we can follow up that way as well.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have no Comcast representative report.
Yeah, she called,
She did call?
stating that she wasn't feeling well.
Okay.
So,
And Verizon?
we did not receive any call from Verizon.
Okay. Any comments from our commissioners?
My apologies for being late.
You're forgiven.
Thank you.
Life happens.
It does.
All right. If there are no other comments, we will adjourn until our next commission meeting on Wednesday, October 24th. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.